By now, you've all heard of Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0, the latest book published by Mama Jumbo Shrimp. It's more than just another wine book. The fully updated second edition was inspired by students of the Vinitaly International Academy and painstakingly reviewed and revised by an expert panel of certified Italian wine ambassadors from across the globe. The book also includes an edition by Professore Attilio Scienza, Italy's leading vine geneticist. The benchmark producers feature is a particularly important aspect of this revised edition. The selection makes it easier for our readers to get their hands on a bottle of wine that truly represents a particular grape or region. To pick up a copy, just head to Amazon.com or visit us at MamaJumboShrimp.com. Welcome to this special Italian wine podcast broadcast. This episode is a recording off Clubhouse, the popular drop-in audio chat. This Clubhouse session was taken from the Wine Business Club and Italian Wine Club. Listen in as wine lovers and experts alike engage in some great conversation on a range of topics in wine. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. And remember to subscribe and rate our show wherever you tune in.
Okay, hello everybody. My name's Stevie Kim and welcome to the Italian Wine Club on Clubhouse tonight. It's 6 p.m. in Italy and we are right on time because you know that we like to be punctual. And this is our 84th episode, believe it or not, on Clubhouse. Is that right, Laika?
Yes, it's right. It's 84th.
Okay, I only know that because we actually did a recording yesterday. Because we are, I guess, revving up for the Vinitaly Marathon. Actually, in 1 week time, Vinitaly Academy flagship edition will occur exactly in 1 week time, next Thursday. So we are doubling up on our Clubhouse interviews. Is that correct, Laika?
Yeah, that's true. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine. We love doing this. Laika, of course, is our Clubhouse manager, and she does so much work and makes sure everything is running smoothly, and she's been doing it for a very, very long time. Were you doing it from the get-go? No, not in the beginning, right?
No,
Or
actually,
yes?
no, yeah, that's true. We started it together. So from the first episode.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
Yeah. No, I'm
So
not
you've been working with me for more than 83 weeks?
Yes, I am.
That's
even
crazy.
More.
I can't even believe that. Well, thank you, Laika. You've been doing a wonderful job. And of course, we have Joy right next door. She's very, very busy because she's also working on our YouTube channel, which is Mama Jumbo Shrimp. By now, I see some familiar faces. Cynthia's at the office. Andre, Ciro Pirone, Tushar. Are you coming to? And John. And Marcello and Elena. So we're going to get this started. As you know, this is what we call the Ambassador's Corner. It's more like a fireside chat style. And one of our ambassadors at large, they get to choose their favorite, quote unquote, Italian wine producer. And they do kind of a deep dive interview which will last nearly an hour. When we first started doing this, I was like, who the hell's going to listen to this for, an hour, 60 minutes? But to my wonderful surprise, I was pleasantly surprised, and everybody at the office as well. These are the Ambassador's Corner is actually one of our most popular shows, and one of the most popular show actually was done by our Mr. Fermented Boss, also known as Hugh Preece. And he interviewed Ariane Occhipinti. I don't know how many episodes ago, and that was definitely one of our most popular shows. So check it out because all of our interviews, I know Clubhouse isn't as popular as it once was in the past, but we get to replay it on the podcast. That's Italian Wine Podcast, wherever you get your pods. And by the way, thank you very much all for supporting us. We've done 3 million listens just last year. It has been really wonderful. And if you like to subscribe, just follow us and give us a little review if you can. I know nobody does that anymore, but that would really be great. Okay, let's bring Hugh Preece on. Ciao, Hugh.
Ciao, Stevie. How are you?
How are you? What are you doing? I'm pretty sure you're standing up. You never sit.
Well, right now is March Madness, so I'm watching a little basketball while we go through with. Today was the kickoff of it.
Aha, okay. Because, we recently, Hugh actually owns some restaurants. How many? 3 restaurants? Is that it? I can't remember.
That's correct. 3.
2 or 3?
Two in
3 restaurants.
2 in New Jersey and 1 in California.
Right. And the one in Princeton, we actually did a roadshow, and I discovered that he's actually officially the president or operating partner called Salt Creek Grill Restaurants, but he never sits down. He starts his day like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe even earlier. He works out, and then he eats, like he carries a little like pouch, like gerbils, and he like with nuts and stuff. And he eats that, but he doesn't have any food all day until he goes home, right, Hugh?
Well, I always snack throughout.
You didn't think we were going
so
to talk about your diet, right?
I'm a gerbil and a hamster, I guess.
Yeah, and he's incredibly energetic and super fit. Of course, he nearly killed me when he hugs you. He's a big hugger, and he nearly crushed my ribs because I'm like an old lady. So Hugh, of course, is our Italian wine ambassador and a huge fan of the Via community and devoted, I must say. So he's done this before. You did Ariana. Did you interview somebody else?
I've done it. I think this is my 4th or 5th interview.
Oh my goodness, I've not been counting. Okay, so I might have been absent on some of those. Anyway, so you know the drill, and for today you picked Viviana Gangemi. Why did you choose her? How did you meet Viviana?
I was in Etna last fall, and Viviana, I was introduced to when I visited the winery, and she, showed us around the winery, and just, her personality was infectious with her enthusiasm of the family business. So I fell in love with the wines, and combination of the wines, the history, and the infectious personality of Viviana.
And were you on the Gita Scolastica with the Taormina Gourmet Group, or you went on your own?
No, I was with Frutecom. It was Etna Days tour, a group of, I guess, educators and wine writers.
Okay. Oh, actually, like I said, you could have said this yourself. Like I said, she sent me a message on WeChat. This is your 3rd interview. The second was with Beniamino D'Agostino.
Yes. Okay, so my 3rd.
Which was another popular show. Yeah, so this is actually a 3rd, just officially. And as you know, so we're looking forward to your 3rd interview. As you know, we have some learning objectives because we're pretty geeky around here. What are we supposed to expect to learn from your call today with Viviana?
Well, obviously, Etna wines are very, very popular. Popularity is growing worldwide. But the learning expectations is to understand the unique terroir of Mount Etna and Antichi Vinay's influence in the area. Learning about the sustainability farming practices that they employ, and gaining knowledge about the ancient winemaking traditions and techniques that they still use today.
Okay, excellent. So I didn't say this before, but Hugh is a serious businessman, but he actually is very devoted to studies. So he's not is only not Italian wine ambassador, which is the most important thing, of course, but he's also Italian wine scholar from the Guild. He is an official via Educator, and he launched something called Native Grapes, which is .com, which is an e-learning academy, and he writes as well, right? You did some writing?
I attempt to write, yes.
Okay. All right. If you want to tell us about that a little bit later, then please do. So I'm going to leave you with Viviana now, and I will mute my mic, which rarely happens, as you know, and then I'll come back maybe towards the end to see if there are any questions. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, Stevie.
Okay. Over to you, Hugh.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I'm very excited to introduce my guest today, Viviana Gangemi from Etna. The winery, her family winery is Antichi Vinay, 1877, and she is fifth generation winemaker. So, hello, Viviana.
Hi, Hugh. Hi, everyone. So, thank you. I'm so excited about this chat, and thank you a lot for inviting me. Thank you, even Stevie, for inviting me.
So, before I get into the questions, Viviana, can we learn a little bit of where the location of your winery is on Etna?
Yeah. So we are based on the northern side of Mount Etna. So Mount Etna is in the eastern side of Sicily, and we used to call it the island into the island because of its magic terroir, because it's so different from the other part of Sicily, because it's basically a viticulture, mountain viticulture. Okay, so and we have been producing wine here since 1877, and as you said, I'm the fifth generation of the family. And a few years ago, I decided to start my studies in viticulture and enology to improve my knowledge of wine, of course. And I think that my love for wine increased when I attended Vinitaly for the first time when I was just 17 years old. I saw a beautiful world full of business, appointments, tasting, flavors. So I decided to become a winemaker, and I still learn a lot every day from my father, who is a winemaker as well. So this is my lucky point. And since I work in my family-owned winery, of course, I don't operate just in the cellar and in the vineyards, but I manage the winery tours and tastings, and I take care of our foreign customers. And I think that it is the heterogeneity of this world that makes me love the wine industry a lot.
Excellent. And I appreciate everything you do, and your tours are fantastic. I mean, that's what drew me into this interview was your infectious personality, talking about your family, the winery, and then introducing the wines themselves. Well, as we tasted through, so incredible
Thank
job
you.
you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, are you ready to get into the questions? I'm sure everybody else is.
Yes.
All right. So, how did the Gangemi family maintain their winemaking traditions and business throughout multiple generations, you being the fifth, despite
Yeah.
facing the challenges of economic crisis and the changing market trends over the century?
Well, I have to say thank you to my grandfather, Giacomo Gangemi, that is the third generation, that now he passed away few years ago. And despite the bad period that the wine world suffered by, for example, the methanol scandal, and despite the economic crisis after the Second World War, And even despite the death of his father at the age of 18, so he remained without any figure, okay, he had the strength to start over, to restart. And we started a very happy situation. So as you remember, we start in an inn by selling wine by the hour. So you can just stop in and ask for an half hour of wine, an hour of wine, and you can drink whatever you want for that time. So it was so funny, but so the nowadays happy hours are not so anything new. And day by day, the family increased. Four child grew up, and every child, every son decided to have a role in the company. And then, of course, like in all the big families, then someone wouldn't continue this business. So my grandfather remained alone, even because his father died when he was 18 years old. But thanks to my grandfather, we maintained some traditions like the use of big barrel, of chestnut. And thanks to the work of my grandfather, we have the power to rebuild our winery with all the state-of-the-art technologies in the 90s. That is the same cellar where we still continue to produce our wines. So my grandfather did a great job. He was a very forward-thinking person. Yeah.
Amazing story. And, selling wine by the hour, that was at your family inn, correct?
Yes, yes, in my family inn. Yes.
So it's truly happy hour, the start of happy hour. Love it.
Exactly.
Um, so in the 1980s, you all, when you were making wine, you chose to produce quality wines rather than quantity. How did this transform the business, and did it inspire other wineries in your region to produce the quality over quantity?
Yes, yes. There was this big changing because, and I think that the reason is due to the methanol scandal. Because in Italy was a very big scandal because a lot of people died. So from that period, people no longer trusted in wine. So my grandfather Giacomo had to change direction, of course. So no more wine in bulk. He decided to invest in uh, in a very good winery with all the technologies possible, including filtration, microfiltration plant, bottling plant, temperature control for each tank. So he created something that in the 80s in Sicily was interpreted as an insane action. So he was told he was a crazy man, but he was a very visionary person, and so he goes in the he goes in the right direction, in my opinion. In fact, from that period, in these 30 years, now we are a lot of producers in Montecchino. Instead, when we started, we were just 5 wineries, and nowadays we are more or less 200. Okay, so things changed a lot in Sicily, in Etna.
Incredible insight to make that leap for quality over quantity. Um, and it's funny how people don't talk about brilliant brilliance. They always call them crazy until decades down the road when they see what that vision actually turns into. So, you being the fifth generation wine producer, um, what are you doing to the winery to modernize and digitalize the business? And in doing that, are you trying to preserve the family legacy with the unique character of the volcanic terrain and where their wines, where the wines are being produced?
Okay, well, the hardest part was accomplished by my family, so there were very few little things left to do. But however, I think that a new and young figure in the business can refresh the brand. And because it creates connection with the younger audience and create a sense of affection and tenderness in the more mature audience. Yes. But anyway, the key steps I wanted to take when I became actively involved in the winery were to create, first of all, a new website full of information that would attract the wine lovers, aimed first to introducing them to the peculiarities of our territory, then introducing them to our family history, and finally to the many products we produce from indigenous grapes. Because I really think that people nowadays want to learn more about what they are drinking, what they are eating. So information was my first goal. And in addition to this, I wanted to introduce the concept of hospitality in the winery. So I knocked down the wall to involve as many people as possible to visit us and to taste our wines directly with me. That I put my hands in the wine, and to give them the possibility to learn more and more about Etna's winemaking tradition.
Fantastic, and it's really important to be telling the stories and focusing on the native grapes. I think that helps in today's world. Eat drinking what grows naturally in the area.
Yeah.
Um, so, what challenges and benefits come with using the sustainability cultivation methods in winemaking?
Well, using organic method, organic growing method can affect not what we perceive directly, but can affect the healthiness of the product. Okay, so it's very important maintain a sustainable cultivation method, so organic growing method, and of course it's force us to be more careful about any possible disease that might arise due to bad weather. So we have to check every day, every hours the meteo to predict and to enter in the vineyard in the correct period of time. Okay, but it doesn't affect the taste of the wine. It just give a more healthier product.
And the sustainability practices that you're using are organic. Do you use any biodynamic practices?
Well, no, we just use organic medicines that are not medicines but are just natural, um, like sulfur, copper, uh, just to prevent any disease. Okay, um, so not biodynamic, but just sustainable cultivation. We use to plant other plants into the row, just to increase the fertility of the soil. Okay, so just this. But the weather, fortunately, the weather is very good on Mount Etna, so we don't suffer of a lot disease. So it's more or less simple to control.
Excellent, thank you. So, in what ways does Antiqui's traditional method of production, including the use of inert nitrogen, large oak, and chestnut casks for aging, contribute to the wine's unique characteristics and personality?
Okay, the use of inert nitrogen, for example, during racking and bottling, is one of the most innovative technique that was introduced by my grandfather with the building of the new winery, along with the microfiltration plant. So clearly, this allows us to have a longer lasting wine because nitrogen takes the place of oxygen. So it gives us the possibility of limiting the oxidation in the wine. And what we borrowed, stay from tradition, is definitely the large oak and chestnut casks. And um, because my grandfather say that Nerello Mascalese was a such delicate grape variety. So using a small barrel is not a good idea for Nerello Mascalese because we are going to lose the delicate aromatic characteristic of Nerello Mascalese. We lose the authenticity. And we can remember that with my grandfather say that Nerello Mascalese is a white shirt. So any stain, even the smallest stain, would be visible because it's a very delicate grape. So Nerello Mascalese is a white shirt.
Yes, this is it is very delicate, and I do agree that the smaller barrels will um, overpower the wine's
Exactly.
characteristics. So I want to talk about the soil now. How do the thousands of years of stratifications and volcanic ash in the soil impact the flavors and characteristics of your wines?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the volcanic soil because it is alive. So this because each lava flow, each lava eruption in different generation um, are different in terms of mineral composition. So the soil was enriched from time to time with different minerals, and this clearly affect the wines in terms of minerality. In fact, volcanic wines are definitely more savory and mineral with marked notes of flint, especially in the whites.
Agreed. It just gives this distinct smoky minerality to the wines I find that just add so much depth and complexity to them. How do the different terroirs affect the taste of the same grape variety?
Hmm. Well, I love the term terroir because terroir means is a mixture of different things. So it's the soil, is the human, the humans, the human tradition, is the weather. So it's a mixture of all these things. And Montetna is full of different microclimates, different terroirs. And in fact, the ripeness of the grapes changes depending on the specific terroir. For example, Nerello Mascalese in the eastern slope ripens very difficulty with difficulty. So it is better to produce it as a white wine, for example, for sparkling wine. Or, for example, Carricante, the Carricante grown in the eastern side retains more acidity. Which allows for light aging, compared to Carricante grown in the north, okay, which will be much more mature and with more structure because it changed the microclimate.
So how many different microclimates would affect your vineyards, or is it all
Thousand.
just one microclimate?
Yes, there are thousands of different microclimates. Because I don't know if our audience have ever seen a Etna viticultural map, because it is a sort of half moon from north to the east to the south. So we have the influence of the sea, of the Mediterranean Sea, and we have a lot. So we have a lot of different microclimates. For example, in the north, in the south slopes, we receive 1 hour more sunshine per day than in the eastern slope. Instead, in the eastern slope, we get usually 5 times more rainfall than the north and the south. So this clearly leads to different ripeness and different types of wines we can produce. In fact, north and the south is more suitable for red wines for long aging. Okay, so very different microclimates, even every kilometers. In fact, we used to talk about contrada, that is more or less the same meaning of crew. Because in a same little village we have different crew that change a lot for this characteristic, even thanks to the altitude that change a lot, because we can cultivate from 400 meters to 1000 meters. So this affects a lot.
Yes, a lot of variation between the different levels above sea level of planting of the grapes. So, what would you say are the unique characteristics of the vines that are planted within your vineyard?
Well, of course, the savory, the minerality. Okay, the minerality is the best things that we can find when we taste Aetna wine. So the minerality, sapidity, that is due to the volcanic soil that is full of minerals, as we said. But it's also important the elegance, because Etna wines never have intense aromas, but they are every time always very delicate. And I really appreciate this kind of wine where there is a lot of smell of red fruit that cover everything. So Etna wines are very elegant.
Elegant and great complexity, I find.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So, let's talk. Obviously, you're on a volcano, and it's a big hill. So let's talk about the steepness of those of the mountain and um, the dry stone walls that are used to help terrace. Ultimately, do they have an effect on the profile of the wine?
Yeah. Well, the steep terraces and dry stone wall are so impressive because it seems they are made by hand, but sometimes they are very huge and they are made by excavator, by machine. So it's a very masterpiece. I saw how they are built, and it's wow. I couldn't do anything about. So, but these the terraces and the dry stone walls are built just to make a very steep soils cultivable. Otherwise, the steepness couldn't allow us to plant. So, what affect the wine is just the volcanic so decomposition of the soil. Okay.
Yes, those walls are very impressive, and you can really see the difference between the man-made and the ones that use the machinery to build them up. But it's so impressive.
Italian Wine Podcast, brought to you by Mama Jumbo Shrimp.
So, so let's talk about the experience of 5 generations cultivating this land. How does it contribute to the quality and character of the wines produced in your region?
Well, first of all, the experience accumulated over the centuries allows us to understand which areas are best suited for the cultivation of a grape variety for a specific type of wine. Okay, so for example, we would never plant Nerello Mascalese in the eastern slope to make excellent red wine for long aging. Okay, because we know that in that specific area it doesn't reap very well. So and what's more, our accumulated experience now allows us to play around. So we experiment year by year with less classic blend, such as in the last 3 years ago. We produced a new blend of Nerello Mascalese in white and Caricante that no one has done before. In fact, it is not in the Etna DOC disciplinary because it is not allowed, more or less, but we can do it. We experiment, and it is a very great wine, in my opinion. So we like to
And, and,
play.
and what do you call this wine?
Nero su bianco, so black on
And,
white, because it's
and
from
this was
Nerello and the white Caricante.
and was this the wine we tasted where with the prickly pear?
No, with the pickled pear we tasted the sparkling, the Nerello Mascalese in white,
Oh
sparkling.
yes, yes.
Yeah, a very fantastic wine pairing, a very strange wine pairing.
It was actually very good. I loved it. So I mean, we've been talking a lot about the winery, the soils, the
Mhm.
terroir. So let's talk about the wine. So you produce sparkling and
Yeah,
still, red and white.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your your wines, and I know there are a number of award-winning wines in the portfolio. But let's talk about your start with your sparkling.
Yeah. Um, we have been producing sparkling wine for more than 30 years. So when we built the winery, we start to produce even sparkling, because to produce sparkling we need a good technologies, because we produce both the Charmat method and the classic method. But to produce the Charmat method, you need a lot of technology, even for bottling. You need to maintain the pressure, so it's a little bit complicated. And we produce the Nerello Mascalese as a white wine, and then we do the second fermentation with the Champenoise method and the Charmat method. But with the Charmat method, we age for at least 6 months on yeast. Instead, with the Champenoise method, we are going to play because we have been producing for 10 years Champenoise method with 48 months of aging on yeast. But this year we are going to release the 60 months on yeast aging that will be released brut nature, so without no sugar, with no sugar. and it's incredible because the more you age on the yeast, the creaminess of the bubble increases, so it's wonderful. And we love to pair the sparkling wine with for example, fruits, with fries, and with all the meal. So no sweets, please.
And when do you release that 60 month?
Well, I think this summer, yes, this summer. But maybe I'm going to take some bottle without the label, this Vinitaly. So if you want to taste, we can do a tasting.
Excellent. Either that, or I'll come by in the summertime and come visit.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
So let's talk about your Caricante and your whites.
Yes, so we produce a classic blend of Carricante and Catarratto for the Etna DOC white, and we produce it from the northeast side. And here, thanks to the weather, the Carricante ripen very well. So we obtain a full maturation. That means that we will have a very structured white wine. So with a good acidity, but full bodied. Instead, if you taste the Carricante from the eastern side, there you can find Carricante, an Etna white that is suitable for a light aging. Is more mineral, more with more acidity, so it's quite different. Instead, we produce it in the north, so it's more strong. And we also use the Caricante, as we said, in the blend with Nerello Mascalese in white. That is not bad. I invite you to taste
Yes,
again.
yes, absolutely. So you have an award-winning red that I'd love our listeners to learn about. The key. I hope I'm not
Coine,
gonna. Yeah,
Coine.
Coine. I was gonna
Yes,
crush
it's my
that name.
favorite.
So thank you for your help.
No worry.
Yes, it was pretty excellent.
Yeah, it's my favorite because it's a riserva, and in Etna DOC Riserva, you have to age for at least 4 years, so like the Barolo. Okay, so we usually stay in the big casks of chestnut and oak for at least 2-3 years, depending on the vintage, and then we stay at least 1 year in the bottle. So we obtain a very strong red, but with soft tannins because of the aging. So and this wine come from a Nerello Mascalese and Nerello Cappuccio, from very old vines in two little vineyard, one in the north and one in the south. And the harvest is usually in mid-October, late October, and is a grape full of structure, full of color, and is very good for long aging. For example, I led a vertical tasting the last year of Etna Riserva from the vintage 2006, 2007, 2008, and excellent. Was excellent, really. So it's amazing.
Incredible. And you said that's a blend of the Mascalese and Cappuccio.
Yes.
Is that always the same percentage each year, or do you all play with the percentages?
Yes, we usually play We usually play with the percentage because the Nerello Cappuccio give the intensity of the color, because the Nerello Mascalese is very delicate in color. It's very light purple. Instead, the Nerello Mascalese give more intensity, and even it gives good notes of cherry, of little red fruits. So we play with the blending.
So you said the Coine is your favorite. So
Yeah.
with your favorite wine, what food are you going to pair with this?
Well, of course, I love cheese, all the cheese, but it's very good with a mature peppery cheese, of course, from Sicily, and the prosciutto crudo, of course. It's lovely because this kind of wine is a wine for chatting, for meditation, but it's good even with gamay, with roast beef. But I like more for aperitif. A very
Nice,
strong aperitif.
incredible. I was about to say that is a pretty strong start to the evening. Let's talk about climate change in the environment and the impact it's had on your winery and the region.
Yeah. Well, Sicily in this 2 year is suffering a lot because we the in the last season we didn't have a drop of rain from April to August. So the grapes were like sun dried. Was I was scared a lot, but at the end in August we have a very good rainfall, so it went well. But the climate change that we are experiencing primarily affect the success of planting new vines, because of course a small plant needs so much water, and instead the mature plants, old vines already have very long roots, so they are able to absorb water deeply. And in Mount Etna, the soil of Mount Etna in the deep in the depth are very full of water, so no problem for old plants, but for new plants it's a big problem. Yeah.
Could only imagine the challenges for new plants with the lack of water. Um,
Yeah.
so let's talk about special projects in the works.
Hmm.
Do you have any special projects in the works? And if so, can you tell us about it, or is it top secret?
No, yes, I can talk now. Because in these 4 years, yes, when I start to work in the family business, we start to the restoration of a vineyard that was submerged by the 1879 lava flow. uh, very very bad lava flow that destroyed everything, because it arrived until 600 meters above sea level, where we have the cellar. Of course, the cellar was built after the eruption, fortunately, and but the vineyard that we had was submerged by the lava. So of course, after the lava we cannot plant because it's unfertile. In fact, we usually call it shara. Shara is an Arabic term to define an unfertile soil. In fact, the terms shara, you can hear it a lot when you talk about Etna wine. So the shara is unfertile, and to naturally to become again fertile, we should wait more or less 500 years. So of course, we want to speed the process, and we started this laborious and expensive job, really expensive, but worth it, because the here the weather is fantastic for the production of red wines. And what we did is, thanks to the excavators, we removed the lava. We dug for fertile soil that come from much older lava flows, and we insert lava stones for drainage, and then we covered with fertile lava soil. So now we are finally planting new Nerello Mascalese and Carricante, and the Nerello Mascalese is almost ready for the production of my crew that will be released, I think, in 2-3 years. The crew Feudo di Mezzo, that is the little contrada where we are. Yes. The other project we said that will be released in this month, that will be the Champenoise method, the Etna DOC sparkling wine with 60 months of aging, and so these are our projects.
It's pretty exciting. So the vineyard that you just spoke about, and those vines are already 3 or 4 years old that you're working
Yes,
with.
yes,
Okay, so that's pretty cool. So it'll be another 3 years before we get to taste it.
exactly, yes.
All right. So that kind of wraps up my questioning for today's call. But we could do fun facts about your winery, or we could answer any questions that anybody out in the audience might have.
Yeah, if someone want to ask something, I'll be happy to answer it.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm back with my special effects. Viviana, thank you very much. And of course, Hugh, we have a few minutes. I don't see any questions from the audience, but of course, I always have questions, thousands of them. And I like the idea of going back to a little bit of the fun facts. Can you just, I mean, we spoke about few of your wines, but I see that you have 3 sparkling wines. Is that correct?
Yeah.
3 labels?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then you have, I see on your website, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 other labels. So in total,
Yes.
you have 17. Is that correct?
More or less, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is the production? Can you give me a little bit about, in terms of volume in production for your wine, just to
Yeah,
contextualize a little bit? How
of
big
course.
is your winery?
Yeah. So we are a small winery compared to the rest of the world, but in the Mount Etna we are quite medium. Yeah, because we produce 300,000 bottles, but from Etna just 100,000 bottles. Then of course we can cultivate vines after the limit of Etna GOC, so we produce even IGT or Sicilia DOC wines.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you been working in the winery, in the family business, Viviana?
4 years, because I graduated in
You're still a
2018.
baby.
Yes, I'm a baby.
Yeah, I can see that by your Instagram page. So you've been working with the family for about 4 years,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And do you have any wine training?
Yes, I have a degree in viticulture and enology.
So you're an enologist.
Yes, I'm a winemaker, yes.
Yeah, okay, it's excellent. And I seen some pictures. I think you're with your dad, but I see some other men. How big is the company, and what is the team formation like? I see some other men around you. I don't know if they're part of your family or
Yes,
if your sibling works, if your brother works in the family. Have you got any brothers and sisters?
yes, I've just a sister, but she choose another the music. So she's a jazz singer, but she helped me during the wine tasting by singing.
Oh, great.
Uh, anyway, yes, we are a small winery, so we are just in seven, four in the cellar, the others in the offices, and beside me there is my grandfather, my father, and my uncle.
Is he the one with the glasses or the other one?
Maybe they are both with the glass, but that one with the
The
yes,
glasses?
with the glasses, yes, is my father. Is my father.
Okay.
Without
Okay.
glass is
Probably is your uncle.
my uncle. Yes,
And how
but
are the roles divided?
well, my father is a winemaker as well, and
Okay.
my uncle is just the director of the economic director. I
Okay.
don't know.
So which wine would you say? I know you have 17 labels. Which wine is your signature wine if you were to choose one? I know they are all like your children, but which wine most represents um Antichi Vinaya?
Of course, the Coine, the Etna
Koine.
Reserva,
Okay.
and the Champenoise method, I guess the 48.
Because that's quite unusual, right? To have sparkling wines from Etna.
Yes, but since we can cultivate from 400 meters to
Mm-hmm.
1000 meters above sea level, we can decide which area is better to produce white wines from red instead of red for long aging. So in the highest part of the volcano, we usually picked the Nerello Mascalese for the sparkling, or in the
So
eastern side.
So I see that you have the Koine. How do you say it again? Koine.
Coine.
Koine. Okay, Koine. I saw that you were in London recently, right? Doing a portfolio tasting.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So how does that get proposed to the market? And like, how do you fit yourself? How do you position your wine, Koine, with other competitors? Because it's quite new, right?
Well, we produced this wine. The first vintage is the 1994.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
people know it's been well established for some time.
yes, yes, it's a quite not famous, but is our pillar. Yes, our one of the best products, and of course we give it when someone wants something very structured, a wine to for meditation, as I said before.
Yeah, for meditation. I love the
Yeah.
Italians say that for meditation wine.
Yes, for chatting. So during this chat, we
Yeah.
should have a glass of cognac.
It just means they want to drink. Don't bother me. I'm enjoying my drink. All right. Listen, we are coming to a close because it's nearly 7 o'clock. I actually have
Yeah,
another call, but
yeah.
thank you so much, Viviana. Hugh, did you want to say something else?
Well, one, I want to thank everybody, especially Viviana and Stevie and Leica for putting this all together. But I also wanted to just tell you about the picture that I posted as my cover. It's three generations of the family. It's Viviana, I think that's your grandmother, you're in the middle,
Yes,
and your uncle.
yes.
Aha, I can't really see. You mean your avatar?
Yes, my avatar. They're so small.
Oh, yeah, that's why I couldn't see. Okay. I thought it was a wine label. Oh, you just changed it.
I did. I just changed it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was like, that was a wine label before.
It
Okay.
was. It
Oh,
was a.
okay. That's so nice.
And I do love the Bolanere sparkling, and the rosé is pretty magnificent as well.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
So
I
I
can't wait
invite
to
you.
taste it.
Exactly. This Vinitaly, please come when we can taste everything together.
Yeah, Hugh, are you around? You're staying till Vinitaly?
I
Yeah,
am.
yeah, yeah, yes.
I am here
You.
through April. Yes, right. My name's very confusing. Sorry, Viviana. I'm
Yes.
there till April. I'm there till April 3rd. So I leave on the morning of April 3rd, but I'll be attending Vinitaly on Sunday.
Okay. And of course, you're going to be coming to
5-star and
Five
opera wine.
Stars, yeah, and opera wine and all of that good stuff. So I'll see you very, very soon. Viviana, hopefully I'll get a chance to come and visit you. During
Yes,
Vinitaly,
please.
actually, everyone's like, let's meet at Vinitaly. The only problem is I get a little bit busy during Vinitaly, so that is actually the worst time for me, but you never know. If
Yeah.
not, definitely next time I come back to Etna. I haven't been to your winery yet. I'd love to come for a visit.
Please, please. You are you are welcome.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And that is it. Come back up and tell us what's happening next.
Okay, next week. So there's gonna be on March 21. So it's Wayne Young. I'm going to co-moderate with him for the first time. So he will be interviewing Cora Basilicata with from Le Due Terre. So that's it.
Who's interviewing who?
Wayne Young is
Oh,
going to
Wayne Young,
interview.
Wayne Young.
Yeah,
Okay, of course.
right.
Okay. And is that it before Vinitaly?
Yes, that's it. So we've covered the Vinitaly Marathon from there.
Okay, and then we will be shut down for Vinitaly Marathon. Is that correct?
We will be.
Yeah, because I'll be busy. Otherwise, you'll have to do everything.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Ciao, ragazzi. Alla prossima.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you.
Ciao,
That's a
ciao.
wrap.
Thank you.
Sip and swirl. Once again, here we go.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.